Preston, Lula, Rama, Milson, Misa, Lomat, NATO, Rilter, and Chomper the pony. Let's head into space.
The Zelos, a family of aliens, had left their planet because it was overcrowded, and they had to find another planet to live on. They found a lovely looking planet called Earth. They loved their new home on Earth. They built a city in the mountains. They planted homes that grew by planting special seeds that grew into anything they wanted. They used rollerball transport and horogons to get around the city. They got on the horogons and bounced around the city. A horogon is like a small, friendly dragon, and they loved riding them. Horogons bounced so high into the sky, they nearly hit the moon. There was lots to do on the planet Earth, so the Zelos all got together and planted the seeds to grow their homes for them to live in. NATO sat on the home as it grew. He loved doing this because it was a great ride. The only trouble with doing that was his big brother Rama had to get into a spaceship to fly up and get him. Up Rama flew in the spaceship. He yelled to NATO, "Jump!" So NATO jumped into the spaceship. "Got you," said Rama. NATO held on tight as they floated back to the ground. They both started to laugh. That was fun! This story is about Chomper the pony. Hi, I'm Preston. I'm the father. Hi, I'm Lula. I'm the mother. Hi, I'm Rama, the eldest brother. Hi, I'm Nisa. I'm the eldest sister. Hi, I'm Rilta, the second sister. Hi, I'm Milson. I'm the second brother. Hi, I'm NATO, the third brother. And I'm Lomat, the youngest brother. Rama, Lomat and Misa found a tree with colourful fruit hanging from it. That looks good, said Rama. So he reached up and picked one. Give some to Chomper. He'll love it. And we'll try some as well, said Rama. Rama and Lomat got their hands stuck in the fruit. They started to float into the air. That will teach them to be greedy, laughed Misa, nearly falling off the tree stump she was standing on. All the fruit kept breaking off the tree and floating into the air. Wow, that's amazing, said Rama. They all laughed. It's hard to eat fruit when it's floating away, laughed Lomat. The horogons watched everything that was going on from behind the flowers. They were keen to taste some fruit. Chomper was so excited he jumped up and down, making funny noises. Chomper munched into the fruit. All of a sudden, the seeds popped out into the air and started floating around him. There was a strange sound coming from the fruit. Suddenly, Chomper started to float into the air. What a ride! He tumbled over and over, snorting and grunting. He wasn't going to let go of that tasty fruit. But the only problem with doing that was he started to float higher and higher into the air. Slowly but surely, Chomper turned his head, and with all his might, he pushed through the air down to the foot of the tree, where he slept all day. Where's Chomper? NATO asked. No one could see Chomper. I'll go and find him because he's my best friend, said NATO. There he was, leaning up against a tree with his stomach sticking out. It looked like he had swallowed a balloon after trying to eat the fruit. They called him Chomper because he ate everything he saw. There you are, Chomper, said NATO. Get up, let's go and have some fun. Chomper laid on his back with his eyes closed, snoring his head off. NATO jumped onto his stomach and bounced up and down, trying to wake up Chomper.
Chomper is so cheeky, he's a bit greedy too. Sometimes he wonders to himself, what am I gonna do? While he's walking around, trying to find some food. Sometimes you can hear him mumble, when he hears his tummy grumble. Hey, what's that? I think he's found some colourful fruit. You can hear him when he goes chomp, chomp, chomp. Stomp, 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 spin around on the spot. Chomp, 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 stomp, 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 and now he's floating on his way to the top. Sometimes you can hear him mumble, when you hear his tummy grumble. He's chomping away, he don't care what you say, as long as he's eating that fruit all day. He goes chomp, 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 and now he's blowing up like a balloon. Now we've got a problem, but we'll have to face it. Let's get him into that big old spaceship. What's that noise? I think I hear Chomper singing along. You can hear him when he goes chomp, chomp, chomp. Stomp, 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 spin around on the spot. Chomp, 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 stomp, 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 and now he's floating on his way to the top. Sometimes you can hear him mumble, when you hear his tummy grumble. His face goes all puffy while he's filling up his tummy, then he floats away. His face goes all puffy while he's filling up his tummy, then he floats away. Chomp, chomp, chomp.
Let's put Chomper on a stretcher and carry him home. We'll strap him down just in case he starts to float away into space, said Preston. Preston rubbed Chomper's stomach. Wow, what a fat stomach, he laughed. The family gather around to hold Chomper down in case the straps come loose. What are these Zelos going to do to help Chomper stay on the ground? The Zelos all sit around Chomper, talking about how they can keep him on the ground. There are some good ideas. We could suck the floating fruit out with a bike pump, said Lomat. That's not a good idea, laughed the others. Oh, I know. We could tie rocks around Chomper. That would keep him on the ground, said Milson. They would have to be heavy rocks. I'm not sure that's a good idea, said Preston. I have an idea, said Lulai. I'll jump on Chomper's back and ride him. I should be heavy enough to stop him floating away. I've been eating lots of cake lately, so I've gained some weight. I'm a bit heavier. Okay, said Rilta and Misa. Give it a go, Mum. Up jumped Lulai onto Chomper's back. Let's go, Lulai called to her daughters. Rilta and Misa let go of Chomper. Whoops, shouted Lulai. I'm not heavy enough. Chomper started to float up into the sky with Lulai hanging on tightly. Grab hold of him, Lulai yelled. This isn't working. We'll have to try something else to keep him on the ground. They couldn't hold him down. Chomper broke away. He floated up into the city, but got caught under a big branch on the city centre. Finally, the Zelos got Chomper down by softly landing a big red spaceship on him. The spaceship was heavy enough to keep him from floating away. Slowly but surely, the spacecraft pushed him to the ground. Hold him while we try something else to keep him on the ground, said Lulai. I have an idea, said Lulai. We could strap Chomper to a scooter with heavy wheels. That should keep him on the ground and give him some exercise at the same time. Maybe that would help his stomach go down. NATO and Rilta jumped on the Horrigons and said to Lulai and Chomper, Follow us! They all yelled in delight. Go, Chomper, go! Oh no! Chomper started to lift off the ground and float into the air with a scooter tied to him. "Quick, grab him!" Blue Eye shouted. "That didn't work. We'll have to try something else."
There's a seat for you inside the spacecraft, where we can fly away, high up into space, the galaxies, the stars, the Milky Way. You will be amazed, you can see so far. At the speed of light, we will fly away, the stars go on forever, up into outer space. We will climb. I feel so big looking down to earth from here. I can see a meteor and a shooting star. We're all a part of the universe, glittering so brightly. How did we get up here? We're so high. Chomper took a bite of the hula bingo fruit and now he's flying up into the sky. Or will we get him down? I guess we'll try. And he's flying. He's flying with you. A million words can't explain how I feel. And I fly. I'm flying with you. A million light years away feels so unreal.
"I have an idea," Rama said excitedly. "Let's try putting Chomper in the old red spacecraft. We'll take the engine out and put him in there. The old spacecraft should keep him on the ground." The Zelos got together and lifted the engine out of the spacecraft, ready for Chomper to go in. They pushed Chomper into the space where the engine used to be. "He fits!" they all cheered, very pleased with themselves. The spacecraft was ready. "Great," said Lomat. "Nato and Milson, make a hole in the roof so I can stand in it," said Rama. "Otherwise I won't be able to come with you because I'm too big to fit in the spacecraft." Off they sped down the road. "It's working!" Rama yelled in excitement. "We're not floating away!" "Hooray!" they all cheered. "It's working!" They sped off down the road. All of a sudden, Chomper's feet lifted off the ground. The small red spaceship started to lift into the air. "Oh no!" shouted the Zelos in surprise. "It's not working!" "Never mind, we won't give up. We'll keep trying to help Chomper stay on the ground." Chomper's ears stood up. "I see what they are trying to do. I like floating," he thought. Chomper dug his hooves into the thick mud. All of a sudden, the spacecraft sailed over the cliff with the Zelos falling with it. They all laughed as they fell to the ground. "I wasn't ready for that," said Rama. "What a cheeky little pony Chomper is. Oh well, we'll have to try again and, as I say, never give up. No matter how hard things get, keep going." Chomper sat on the cliff's edge watching the red spacecraft fall to the ground with Lomat, Milsa, Nato and Rama falling with it. Down they fell towards the ground. "Chomper's a naughty boy," said Nato. "He never does what he's told." "I hope we land on some soft ground," he said to Lomat and Milson as they slowly fell to the ground. Lucky they were around Chomper when he was eating the floating fruit. It made them lighter, so they fell slowly to the ground without hurting themselves. Down they fell, They landed on the ground safely. The red spacecraft crashed into the tree with all the floating fruit on it. Fruit went everywhere and started to float into the air. They all laughed. That was fun.
Lying on my bed each day, dreaming all about the Zelos and of how much fun that it would be. Preston, he has got no hair. Chomper's floating everywhere. He floats so much he's almost floating in his sleep. We are the Zelos. Do you like the clothes we wear? So won't you come on for the ride? Luli and me shall walk around, try their best to hold him down. We'll stop him floating, just you wait and see. NATO and Realtor ride their Haragons, try real hard to just stay on. Wait, is that a hula bingle swaying in that tree? We are the Zelos, so go tell all your friends before we fly up in the sky. Well, I know I'm not the only one that feels the way I do. I only wish that I was a Zelo too.
They made it. No one was hurt. The little red spaceship ground to a halt up against the floating fruit tree in a deep gorge. Chomper slowly floated down from the cliff because the floating fruit was wearing off. Down Chomper floated. He landed safely, just in time to help the Zelos push the red spacecraft off the tree. They all pushed. "It's not working," said NATO. "It's jammed up against the tree." "I have an idea," said NATO. "We'll give Chomper some more fruit so we can get him back in the spacecraft." "Okay. Be nice and quiet. You know what Chomper's like. He won't want us to catch him." "Is this a good idea?" asked Rama, Lomat and Milson. "I think it is," said NATO. "If we don't try it, we will be stuck here." "Okay, let's give it a go," they all shouted. Never be too scared to try new things. Rama said to Lomat, "Get on my shoulders so you can pick some floating fruit for Chomper. Let's name the fruit Hula Bingle." "Wow, it's colourful," said Lomat. "Hold me tight while I reach up and pick the fruit. We will have to be quick because after we pick it, it will start to float. So we will have to quickly feed it to Chomper." Chomper opened his mouth and gobbled the fruit down. It was easy to feed Chomper because he loves his food. The Zelos quickly put Chomper back in the red spaceship. "Wow, look at Chomper," they shouted. "He's blowing up like a balloon." They all jumped into the little red spacecraft. It started to rise off the ground. "It's working!" they all yelled with delight as the spacecraft floated out of the gorge. "Let's go home." Slowly but surely, they floated out of the gorge. What a relief! They now knew, after trying lots of times, how to use the fruit properly. Once again, Chomper started to shrink down in size as the floating fruit wore off. After the great adventure, Chomper could be ridden normally again. The Zelos learnt a valuable lesson. No matter what happens, things can be fixed if you just remain positive.